I'm not showing you guys the notification for a reason, because in some positions, if you guys want to guess of the possible moves, I will give you some time to think, and I don't want to spoil anything with the moves. You can see how the game went here. I faced Samir Samidi from Slovakia. Yeah, if you guys want to see a very nice game of the Bliss tournament, which was held on Friday, 2 days earlier than this game. Yeah, as you guys know, it was a Rapid tournament, and I faced him in the last round, and I played. I got a very nice positional game against him. And also with that victory, I got a decent performance, but yeah, I didn't start very well in both tournaments. In the Rapid tournament, I started with 2.5 out of 4, and then I made 7.5 out of 8. So I had a very nice finish. The finale was like crazy. So I played my usual setup here. Wait, why can't? Okay, now I can make the moves. So I played the RÉTI system. By the way, the broadcast was wrong, because I don't know why, but in some games it just completely changed. The move order of the openings. I don't know why. I will explain this H3 move a little. Yeah. So I will explain the reason why I started with H3, why I'm always starting right away when the bishop arrives to G4. I always play H3. I will tell you the reason later. So according to the broadcast, I started with D3. I never start with D3. If I'm playing the C4 system, I never start with D3. I'm gonna explain it why in a moment. So if I play D3 and yeah, according to the broadcast, this is how the game went. If I play C4, this d takes C4 I just hate for white, because here I allow this trading the queens, and this type of endgames are, yeah, it's very drawish. The bishop gets to B4. In some cases, bishop takes on F3, and black is a very healthy endgame, followed by castle long. And okay, white has a very small symbolic edge with some very slight space advantage, but it basically, yeah, very like not very important here. So that's why I don't start with D3. That's why I always start with C4. But according to the broadcast, I started with D3. But don't get fooled by the broadcast, because it was wrong. I don't know why. So according to the broadcast, this is how the game went. And yeah, the correct move order in the game was C4. He played E6. Now I played Queen B3, Queen B6, D3, Knight B7, Queen C2, and now he played Bishop E7. This is how the game went. So I don't know why. What was wrong in the broadcast? Yeah, but we reached this position. And yeah, I mean, at here he had Knight B7 instead of Bishop E7, but right now it's just gonna be transposed. Yeah. So actually, it was like this. Hang on. So Knight B7, Queen B3, Queen B6, Queen C2. So I had a very same position against Eljanov in 2015, but I got this position from the black side, and I chose this line, which I actually really like as white. But back in the time, I thought this is completely equal. I'm pretty sure it's still equal, but somehow it feels a little bit more comfortable to play with white. And Bishop B7 and Knight D2 is the point, and castle short Knight C4, and I played Queen B5. But I think modern engines suggest Queen C7 or Queen A6. I'm not quite sure, but I played Queen B5, and he went Bishop D2 if I'm not mistaken. And actually, this endgame is quite unpleasant after Queen F3, Queen F3, Queen King F3, and white is bringing the rooks to B1, C1, and he's pushing b4 a5 b4 and trying to create a weakness on c6. If I push c5, then I'm weakening the lie squares. So basically it's the same method as in the Karlsbad, right, with this minority attack. So this endgame is basically is a very same endgame as with the pawn on h2. It makes no difference if the pawn is on h3 or h2. It just basically no difference. So from this perspective, h3 doesn't really give any extra, right? But where it gives a huge extra, it's actually how the game went. And here he played bishop e7. Actually, we can get back to the game. And now I took on d5. This is the whole point of the line after h3, taking on d5. If he takes with the e pawn, I just go e4, and this type of structures are always slightly better for white. h3 is actually very useful because later I can I don't know, just try to trap the bishop or jumping to f5. Also, bishop takes f5, b takes f5 structures sometimes are slightly better. I never know if we should do it like king h2, knight h4, knight f4, or something like king h1, knight h2, f4. But the whole point is we move the king out of this pin, and then we are playing for f4. So in the RÉTI system, these type of structures are always slightly better for white. We can also play bishop e3, for example. Here we don't need to be afraid of bishop c5 because knight e4 is always winning a piece. So usually black is moving the queen back, and now we can decide whether we go knight d4 or knight h4, and then king h2 f4 is always a little bit more comfortable for white. So I'm never really afraid of e takes d5 structures, but my opponent took c takes d5. And here comes the point of including h3, bishop h5, because now we have bishop e3. You might still not see the point of h3, but we'll get to it very soon. So my opponent played bishop c5, and in case of queen d8, I think we just go rook c1, and then knight c3, and trying to get something on the c file. Also queen b3. And usually in the c takes d5 structures, whenever black takes c takes d5, the knight belongs to c6. So this is the reason why c takes d5. This is the reason why we should take c takes d5 when the knight already moved to d7 with the knight. If the knight is on b8, don't take on d5 because the knight always gets to c6 where it belongs. So here my opponent played bishop c5, and now I took queen c5, knight c5, and here comes the boom. Yes, here comes the boom. Here comes the point of a3. Little man knew this, and now g4. Because without g4, this position would be like very drawish. Let me show you the same position without h3, bishop h5. So we would get this. Knight bd7, queen c2, bishop e7, cd, bishop e3, bishop c5. Whoops. And queen c5, knight c5. Now, unfortunately, whenever we go knight d4 or trying to, let's say, play for this knight d4, f4 plans, he's just gonna go e5, and this guy is hanging. Or if he go knight c3, he's just gonna take f3, bishop f3, king e7, and now black is very solid. He just gonna double the rooks on the c file. Of course, first he needs to play a6 just to avoid knight b5, and then black is just completely fine with the two knights against the bishop and the knight. So I included a3, but now after g4, here's the big point, because now the bishop is just stuck on g6, and the way to my knight is just free to d4, and then after f4. I mean, we are not planning to by playing knight d4 f4, we are not aiming to like trap the bishop. It just stuck there. So basically we're playing with one more pieces in the position, because this bishop is going to be a huge deal on this diagonal. Let's say after after we pushing f4 f5, if he takes, g takes f5, and all of a sudden this pawn becomes a huge weakness, and the bishop is still stuck on the queen side. So this is the huge point of h3. But now I played g4, bishop g6, and I played knight c3. He played king d7, but yeah, he around here he was still like lack of aware that the position is actually bad for him. I mean, a couple of moves after this position, I think he just realized that he is in trouble. Yo, Baron Starker, what's up? Good evening. So he played knight f7. I'm not so sure what was the right move. I mean, yeah, he could play rook h c8. I was actually kind of worried of rook c2, for example, here, because rook c2 would be the ultimate plan to just double up the rooks, and we have a lot of tactics in the center, right? But the problem is, if you play rook c2, I'm not so sure if this is working, because now he not only gets two pawns in exchange for you know, for the rook, but he just gets rid of his bad bishop, which I don't like. And you know, in endgames, especially with an open file available, I always prefer the rooks. Usually it's only one pawn is enough for a full compensation, but now black got two. So I would never go for this. I would rather be a little bit prophylactic here and avoid. Let's say knight d4 and followed by f4. So a lot of people think that, because yeah, we can consider this position as symmetrical, right? Because yeah, 2 versus 2 on the queen side, and we have 5 versus 5 on the king side. Okay, I mean, people are not really on the king side, but you know, 2 versus 2 and 5 versus 5, like same side, it's very symmetrical, right? But symmetrical positions, how we can evaluate symmetrical positions, it's really depending on the piece placement, right? So now his bishop is just terrible on g6, and the fact that he has a very poor bishop is just enough for having a huge advantage for white. So he didn't play rook h c8, but I'm pretty sure I would do the same. I would play knight d4. Rook c7 is a little bit pointless here because running into knight b5, so probably a6. e5 never really an option, right? Because this just becomes too weak, and he can't really push through because this bishop's diagonal is just huge, right? So he can't really push e5. He's gonna, I don't know, he's gonna play a6. This makes a lot of sense. My opponent was Samir Sahidi. It was Hungarian Rapid Championships in the weekend, and it was one round before the last round. I guess I just play f4. I'm not so sure f5 is... Yeah, f5 is definitely a deal here, because let's say if he plays rook c7, I push f5, he has to take bishop h5, and d5 is hanging. So he has to push h6, but I'm not so sure if I wanna be hurried with f5 just yet. I can play b4 here, right? And knight cd7 and now rook c2. Because now there is no knight d3, and just rook fc1, knight takes d5 is always a deal. Oh yeah. Yeah, Dragon, you're right. Also g5. So this position is actually horrible. So my opponent played knight fd7. I played knight d4. He played rook c8. Now I played f4. Now f5 is threatening. Okay. H6. Now I played B4. Yeah, B4 was a very nice move because again the same reason I didn't play Rook C2, because just knight takes D3, and E takes D3, Bishop D3, and this I would never go for. Okay, for now my knights are well dodging, you know, the C file and the center, but you know it can change very easily. So this knight will not stay here forever. And after the rooks are getting activated, like the minor pieces cannot really handle, you know, the rook in endgames. So it's definitely something I really wanted to avoid. So that's why I played b4. I think this was the other recall. So yeah, let's get back to the game. So I played b4. Knight a6, of course I'm protecting my pawn. He played knight c7. I mean, yeah, he could actually try rook c7. No, actually he couldn't, because just knight b5, right? I go with this knight, not with the other knight, because then he can trade and he can avoid losing material. But if I go with this knight, he can go either c6 or c8. I'm taking a7 with a huge tempo, so he cannot really. I mean, look at these pieces; they are not harmonized, right? So, and look at my pieces. This bishop's diagonal, maybe it's now, for now it's closed, but you know, we can just see the game. It will not be closed forever. Yeah, I mean, f6 was a plan, but unfortunately he can't really make it happen, right? Because f6 just running into f5, and f6 is always losing material, because if he takes I take a gf, and if he moves the bishop back, just knight takes d5, so he is losing material. If he goes right away back, the same thing happens, right? So first he has to stabilize e6, and then he can probably play f6, but he just doesn't have time for that. He played knight c7, and now what? What would you guys play here? f5. You know, I mean, there is a principle that don't really change, you know, the pawn structure, or try to keep the pressure and the tension on the position. Only you should do these things after you just brought all the pieces to the right square. e4, not so sure about, because he might take and play e5. What is the only piece which is, hey Sanat, what's up? So what is the only piece which can be improved? King f2 is I'm pretty sure it's a good move, because you know it's endgame. King is one step closer to the center. It's always useful. But yeah, what after the king is yes. 5 points to Gryffindor. Gryffindor, or I don't know what's the name. Rook c2, yes. So Rook c2 is the move, because we just wanna bring the only piece which hasn't been improved yet, right? And on this open file, we have a lot of things to do, right? Wow, pawn mate on move 14. Wow, fight for open file, of course. But black can't really fight for it. The arrow revealed the solution. Oh shit! How can I turn this off? Evaluation gauge, best move arrow. Yeah, it's disabled. Thank you, Dragon, for letting me know. Yeah, it's disabled. It's disabled. Wonderful. Okay. Is this coaching? No, I'm just showing my games of Hungarian Rapid Championship. So yes, Rook C2 is probably the best move. We just want to bring the last piece to the C file, and from that point, we can a lot of things are available. We can push F5. We can do a lot of stuff. But I don't want to spoil, you know, the following moves. Thank you so much, Sanat. So, what did my opponent do actually? Hang on. Yeah, he played A6. Of course, Rook FC1. And now, but why? Best move a row. I just enabled it. No, I mean, show variation arrows. Yeah. Okay. It's off. What was the time control? No, I disabled everything now, I think. No. It was 15 plus 10, I believe. It was 15 plus 10. But look how beautiful our position is, right? I mean, I think it looks very, very good. But yeah, so now knight takes d5 is threatening. Am I right? So if, let's say he just makes a useful move, which is, by the way, is losing, we can just take on d5. Because if he takes with the pawn, we just take the piece. If he takes with the knight, he's losing the exchange, so he can't do that. So that's why he played knight b6. But wait. No. Okay. The last rank is not visible. Hang on. Now it's visible, right? Okay, it's good. Great. Sorry about that. Yeah. So what now? Oh, little Panchen. How are you, my little man? How are you doing? So, it's time to find a plan. How can we improve? I'm waiting for solutions. Sasha, I think knight a4, just knight c8. Is this possible? Yeah. Yeah, Miras was right. Just kick the knight. What? I mean, we just actually eliminating the one piece. Not okay. There is another one, but I mean, if you kick the knight out from b6, all this knight takes d5. All of a sudden, it's available, right? So we just basically the best defending piece is the b6, not c7. C7 is always in the way. So he of course the rook has to stay on c8. He has to fight for the c file. So that's why we're aiming for the best defending piece. Has stream 40 seconds delay. Yeah, I'm not following. I mean, so nothing is wrong with f5, but you know, I just don't wanna, like, if let's say he goes f5, bishop h7. Now what? So basically, if there is no follow-up, there is nothing concrete comes after f5. Why should I push? I shouldn't push, right? So if there is no follow-up, don't change the structure. Change the structure only if something concrete happens after your plan. So you can push you can push f5 anytime you want. No need to hurry. Yes, exactly. So we have all the time we need. This bishop doesn't run anywhere, because if we kick the knight from b6, f6 is never available, because then we just go f5 again. So this bishop doesn't run anywhere, right? So don't always try to keep the tension, keep the pressure in the pawn structure. Don't change it. It's because Dvoretsky said in his books like multiple times, pawns are the only pieces on the board which are not going backwards, right? So maybe you will regret it. And what you can do anytime you want. Don't make the move right away if you have time. Yes. So that's why a4. Another 5 points to Gryffindor. Yes. I'm not so sure what did he do here. He played rook hd8. Yeah. a5, knight ca8. What's next? Beautiful, nice, huh? Sanat, knight takes d5, just e takes d5, right? And where is the follow-up? The knight is protected. Yeah, I mean, hey, David Cosgrave, thank you for writing for the first time. I was also checking knight c4, but I just take. And takes, and he can't even take here because b7 is also hanging. And yeah, it's actually winning. And just knight c6 next, right? So he can't really do that. There was no escape. So he had to go knight c8. b5 again. I would just say the same. Just what I said about Sanat's f5. Why change the structure? If he goes b5, or hang on, maybe b5 was. Can he take? I'm not so sure. Because if you take here, takes. I mean, he gets a lot of pawns here. I'm not so sure. Oh, knight b5 first. Yeah, you are right. You're right. But hang on, is this winning? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's much better. Probably just knight b6, right? Oh, he can take and rook c8. I mean, he's still alive. Technically, he's alive, but I'm not so sure if we don't see clearly the end, why should we go for it? If we can do something else. And also, don't forget it was rapid. So rapid, you don't wanna like calculate very long lines. You don't wanna spend like only if it's winning. But sometimes it's difficult to decide because, I mean, in 15 plus 10 game, if you like spend 4 or 5 minutes on a position, you just and if you don't go for it, it's yeah, it feels like b5. I don't know. I was also like dreaming about some b5 b6 and locking the knight in. But I went for something else. Miras again. Miras is it really fills my play, man. Yo, Vandrigis, how are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I'm not a calculator, man. I'm just playing positionally. Why should I push? Okay, maybe b5 was winning. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know, but knight a4 seems like the most logical move I can make in the position, right? And just knight b6 is threatening. I'm not so sure how did he play. Yeah, he played king d6. Now what? I mean, the position was already very fishy, right? How would you play? I'm waiting for the solutions, as always. Yeah, knight c5 is very, very tempting. But he goes rook b8, and I wasn't sure. Again, e4 is something very similar as we said about f5. It would be amazing to like opening up the diagonal for the bishop, but I'm not so sure if it's actually happening, because he goes e5, and yeah, it's still fishy. I'm pretty sure it was also winning, or at least it's like very, very strong. Maybe we go knight f5 here, and if the bishop takes, just e takes, and I'm pretty sure it's basically you can't really go wrong. But in these type of positions where you can't go wrong, you have to go for a line where you give like the least chances for your opponent. I mean, from practical point of view. Knight c5, rook b8, e4 is also looking great. Yeah, like it's takes, probably e5 again. Knight b6, rook b8, knight c4. If I take, was it knight c4? Knight b3. Okay. Yeah. The knight b6, rook b8, e4. Probably just takes. Yeah, e5 is there. I don't know. What if he goes? Yeah, I know it's terrible. I know. I'm not saying I would choose black. I'm just trying to survive here. I'm not so sure if e5 is a move. Like, it can easily happen that black is collapsing in 2 moves from here. So I'm not so sure. Maybe takes. Knight f3. It seems fishy. Even rook takes c7 is, yeah. Just next move, just rook c7, right? You probably can't really go wrong. But do you guys remember the game of what's happening today with me? Like, I'm pretty, Fischer was white. Fischer, not Fischer Taimanov, Fischer Petrosian. I think when Fischer just took the wrong piece of the board, but it's actually like a paradoxical, right? Because they explained in the analysis, they explained that it's paradoxical because he took the opponent's worst possible piece from the board, but by that he actually improved his position. Like, what the hell? How is it happening, right? Yeah, but okay. I mean, Fischer was a big fish for him, like in that game. So now I made a very, very surprising decision. By the way, thank you guys the follows, all the follows I got in the last 20 minutes. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. And now I played a little bit surprising move. I took on a8. I know, but I had my reasons here. Okay, hear me out. So basically, by taking a8, I'm just actually, okay, I'm removing his worst piece from the board, but I'm just creating another one, right? So because he had to take with the knight. If he took with the rook, it's a free piece, right? So he had to take with the knight. What could be my point here? Yes, exactly, Mieras. I mean, yes, but But yeah, just listen up. Exchanging too many pieces can actually ruin the game. So yeah, that's one thing that, okay, we are just much better here. Terrible pieces, we're controlling over the C file, beautiful knight in the center, but we have to make progress because he has some defending plans, right? So I took on A8 for a reason. Black is trying to create some counterplay. Again, Sanat, if I just bring the king, then the time really matters now. So there, Rook C5. Rook C5 makes a lot of sense because I think E5 was threatening, and Rook C5 just preventing it because D5 is hanging. But what do we have against Rook D7? Let's say. I'm still, don't get me wrong, it's just still like completely winning probably, but it was really difficult to like ruin the game. But in Rapid you have to like B5 B6, yeah, but B5 yeah, actually this is a nice plan because he has no E5 now, right? And B6, just Rook C6. Yeah. And let me see if Black can do something else. Yeah, F6 just... No, this is also very nice. I'm pretty sure Rook C5. Rook C5 is a very good move as well. But I made another move. I'm pretty sure you guys already saw my move. Because I had something beautiful in mind. I was calculating before I took on A8. I invested like 2 or 3 minutes in the position and I calculated almost everything. Yeah, Rook C5 is very nice. Yeah. E4 I'm not so sure. E4 I was never sure because of this stupid E5. And the last thing I want to give him, let's say, an outpost for the king is so weird to say. I mean, usually outpost is for the knight, but I mean the king is actually quite safe here, right? Okay, maybe not that safe, but maybe he can just go back. And this is exactly how we can ruin the game. I don't want to give this bishop a purpose. So with E4. Yeah, I played B5. Yeah, but I mean, is this really that good? I'm pretty sure you are better. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not so sure. This is exactly how you can ruin the game, right? Because yeah, maybe these pieces can't really move, but okay. What's next? I want this. Okay, I feel you. Okay. Rook E8. It's gonna be a mate. Hang on a sec. Here. Yeah, no, King is a little bit stuck. Yeah, but you know, this maybe it was good, but this is too concrete for my style. You know, I mean, from principle reasons, I'm not gonna do it, even if it's good. I'm not gonna exchange this knight for this bishop. This is the last thing I'm gonna do, even if it's good. I only do it if it's like winning on the spot. I'm not gonna do it. So I played D5. But what did I have in mind against E5? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, B takes. Yeah. Yes. Hey, Go Bunch. Thank you for writing for the first time. I'm pretty sure, by the way, after B6 we have not the full compensation, but you know. But yeah, B takes. It's a very nice move. Because if he takes on D4, voila, we just trap the rook. And if he goes b takes, just go knight c6, and he can't avoid losing an exchange here. What engine gives after b6? Let me check. Equal. It's still okay, but this is like +5 if you take on a6. Yeah. So my opponent took on b5. Of course I took, and he played king e7. Yeah, Sasha, also that was available. Yeah, probably everything was winning there. But I mean, b takes a6 was. Yeah, you are, as always. But I'm used to it. Don't worry. Yes, now. I saw this position when I took on a8. I had this in mind. At first, I didn't see, you know, the clear win, because I don't wanna exchange pieces and pawns without seeing, you know, a straightforward line, because it would go e4. Okay, you're just obsessed with this e4. I'm pretty sure e4 is good as well. But e4, what if he takes and plays e5? Okay, this is a free pawn, but then our bishop is a little bit, I don't know. Yeah. I know. But at the same time, you open up the bishop for this bishop, but at the same time you also open up this one. Yeah, king on d4 would be amazing, man. But who played this game with white? Me. Would you guys think that I would go for this without having something extra in mind? I wouldn't take on a8 without like. Yes, look at that game player. Well done, kudos, man, kudos. Yeah, a6. That's a nice move, isn't it? Yeah, if he takes a knight a4 or knight d4 or knight a7, doesn't really matter, and he can avoid losing an exchange, right? And by losing an exchange, he's losing the game because his pieces are just too bad. Also, I'm gonna take a6. It's just losing. If he goes b6, what did I want to do here? I think just a7, rook b7 and rook c8. Or what? Something like this. Or actually, look at that. I can go rook c8 now. And now if he goes here, I might have something like this. And now the diagonal is gonna be open, no? Okay. Knight d4 where? I would rather keep my knight here, if I can. I'm pretty sure f5 is also winning here, and now rook c8 or something. Before a7. Oh yeah, you're right, you're absolutely right. It's just the same. Yes, exactly. Yeah, if I want to win the same game in the same way, I can do it. So he played knight b6. Yep. Okay, now I think it's just easy. I went a7. Rook a8, rook c7, Rook d7. And now what? Let's finish off the game, shall we? Yes, that was also possible to play Rook c7. I'm not so sure what. He just goes probably b6. I'm pretty sure it's, but I didn't see the follow-up because I didn't see the point here. But I'm pretty sure Rook c7 you can include this move as well. It just I found something else. And now Shonat's favorite move. Finally, I only made this move when there was no turning point for my opponent. So I played f5, and if he takes, just bishop takes d5, and next bishop takes b7, and he's gonna lose the rook. He played bishop h7, and now it went for the same plan, which I just showed you guys a couple of minutes ago. And now this bishop is diagonal. It's just inevitable, right? He can't really close down. Okay, he pushed d4. That was probably the only practical way. But if you took on e4, just bishop takes e4, e takes. I can even take it back. I'm not in a hurry. So he played d4. I went e5. Knight takes c5. Bishop takes b7. Rook a7. Knight a7. Okay, he didn't resign. He took on d3. He gave a check. King f6. Bishop e4. And my point was, if the knight goes anywhere but f4, I'm just gonna take on e6. For example, knight e5, just f takes e6, right? And bishop e4, e7, and I'm gonna promote. So the only move was knight f4 and f takes e6. He has this trick, but of course I'm not gonna fall into this trick. And now I bring the king because we are not in hurry again. Okay, and here he just didn't want to resign. I don't know why. We just made a couple of moves, and here he actually lost on time. But he wanted to play bishop a4, but it didn't really matter because he lost on time. So this is how I won. It was not the last round. It was round 10, and then I got a little bit lucky with the pairings, and I got Wojtek Swardon, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Let me show you guys the game. From the final round. Here is my game from the very beginning. Oops. Okay.